Hello everyone and welcome back to Dream Plays Minecraft with LuckyDutch.
Hey, how you doing?
Do you like my false advertising?
Stream. Love it. Clickbait. That's what it's
Yep,
all about.
exactly. All I have to do is tell people I'm Dream and they'll eat that shit up like um hmm. Anyways, let's continue where we left off.
Not sure what to do now. Oh wait, never mind. I know what. I was like, hey, I already did the trident thing. No, I didn't. You're still forgetting a fucking piece.
I was still trying to light the lower bowels of the mine
So
that is below
England.
us.
So you gotta tell me, England is crying right now, right?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it is. I don't. Here's the thing, right? We already talked about this a little bit last week. The royal family,
Yeah.
not really anything that I follow or track or actually really
No,
have an
I
interest
think
in.
it's just boomers that really follow the royalty business.
Um,
Or am I incorrect on that one?
it's entirely possible that. What the fuck was that?
What happened?
I'm hearing weird noises,
I think that's my end.
like a thing flopping about.
Oh, I think that's bad. It's raining outside. Maybe that's the reason.
Oh,
Oh, by the way, it's sundown, so we have to sleep.
oh, really? Literally, the first thing we do is sleep.
Yep, that's basically everything when it comes to Corona.
I mean, yeah, that sounds about right.
That's right. I shot the fire shot. I'm not ashamed.
We make one joke this entire stream, and the first one is a bloody COVID joke. Vaccine distribution is going well, I've been told. That's nice.
So, what have you been doing this week?
Mostly wanting to do things, and then I just kind of didn't. How about you?
Hmm. Well, I've been studying.
That's good.
Exam coming up,
Hmm.
so I really need to be prepared for the upcoming days. For the people who want to know, I have an exam on Monday.
Whoop whoop.
I'll take any sacrifice you give to the to
Anyone,
someone, I
really.
guess.
We're
Yeah,
not picky
just
at this point.
sacrifice something. I get a high grade. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I will knock you to the cops. So that's my trade-off.
Yeah, like this video, if you want to sacrifice something for Lucky Dutch to do his exam well, yeah. I mean, also,
So,
don't.
exactly, don't. It's like I have my friends, my close friends. They always make the joke like, "Oh, you have something important to do? Oh, you really need to pass? Say no more. I'm gonna sacrifice a puppy for you." I'm like,
No thanks.
that's no, no, thanks, no thanks. I'm not a big fan of dogs, but you don't have to do that. That's a little unnecessary.
It's a bit much.
I appreciate it, but yeah, and finishing around stuff. My application work. I'm gonna work on a test spread, hopefully.
Hmm.
I filled in the agenda, so it's only a matter of time before needs to actually before it actually is gonna happen. So yeah,
Sure.
yeah, that's
Sounds
pretty neat.
sounds like you've got a couple of things going there.
I do. Sometimes I do. I just like I don't want to sit still, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And like sitting still doesn't always necessarily have to mean like work this, work that, stuff like that, because then you're gonna lose your damn mind. But more in the direction of like, hey, if you do something productive or what you think is pretty productive, for example, focusing on your mental health,
Yeah.
then I would do it. I find it to be a wasteful day when like you actually do nothing. Video games sometimes it's something, but
It just
when you
depends to
come
what
to
capacity as well.
exactly, and if it's your job or not, because for I don't know how it happened, but it happened. Um, Games recently also created income for some people.
Yep. Not us, but people.
No, not us. This isn't monetized, and even if
Yeah,
it
no, we're not
was,
there yet.
then it goes straight to Ron. But
You know, the
yeah,
first time we did this, it was actually monetized. That's the stupid bit
really,
about this. It was because the terms of YouTube were completely different at the time. At the time, it was literally
so
like, you know, if you
if you
had
don't
one
mind,
video up, you
if you don't
were
mind me
eligible.
asking, how much did you get?
Like
If you
several
don't mind me
cents.
asking. I mean, hey,
I
it's
think,
better
yeah.
than nothing.
I think my if I say this correctly, my original channel made about, I want to say 50 something euros in total. But the problem is that they only pay out in every 70 euros. So, um, unfortunately, I never got to see any of it, which is annoying.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
I mean, the
It's
fact
like,
that that
hey,
down, you know,
thanks for all the hard work. Here, go fuck yourself, basically.
well, you know, they don't really see it as hard work as such because they're like, oh, well, there's bigger creators than you know,
Yeah, true.
so we have to mitigate, you know, expectations and such. And it's like, well, for some,
Yeah, and
yeah.
it's like they're really greedy when it comes to like stuff.
Well,
They're really greedy about that shit.
they really are. It's annoying.
Like, I know for a fact that they can. Okay, I guess this is gonna be a stream about talking about YouTube. So yeah, sure,
Potentially,
why
yeah. It's certainly what it looks like at this
not?
point.
So basically, I find YouTube's. Don't get me wrong, YouTube is like sometimes a great site, but it's so frustrating at the same time. Like the thing is, when people can hit you easily with a strike like that, and that there's no repercussion of false flagging people,
Oh, dude, I've got a
that
story about that.
that's appalling. That's disturbing. That's disturbing in its own.
I
Like,
actually do have a story about that. So basically,
oh,
um, when I wanted to go to London and apply to a film school here, what they asked me to
yeah,
do is make like a short film as like an application thing.
yeah, makes sense.
And
Makes sense.
so I did. I'll be honest. In retrospect, it wasn't very good. But I made one.
Hey man, you come here to learn. You're not gonna be an expert on day
Yeah,
one.
exactly. You know, it was impressive for, you know, for the amount of knowledge that I actually had, and there's a couple of bits that still impress me. Oh Jesus, skeleton just kind of fell out of the fucking sky. But anyway, I put it on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, monetize this. Yeah, why not? Because I knew for a fact that there was nothing in there that I wasn't allowed to use. Now, I will say there was this one scene in it. Basically, like, not to like go too deep into the story because it doesn't matter. But it's about a guy whose fiance gets really sick, and so he doesn't really know what to do, and he decides, you know what, I don't have anything to lose really. I'll buy this medicine off the black market. And so basically there was this scene that we shot outside, like in the middle of Hilversum. Do you know where the skiff is?
The skiff?
Yeah, it's like a pub.
Uh,
Well, more accurately, it is a pub. It's like it's
it
pretty
sounded
close.
like a British thing.
No, it's in Hilversum. It's pretty much by the train station.
Oh, yes, I know that one. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So we filmed
Yeah.
there, and not only was it obviously busy because it's in the middle of the city, but it was particularly windy that day. So I had to redo all of the sound in post. And I was using Final Cut at the time, and you have this great library of sound effects that Apple provides. So I was like, great, I'll use that. It's copyright free because it's just part of the software. Great. That video got claimed by someone for apparently using his music, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense because I wrote I wrote and recorded all of the music myself. So that doesn't make any sense. Turns out, the clip in question was like this short bit of city atmosphere that they used from Apple's sound library. And they were like, okay, well, your video is now blocked in Germany, which was frustrating because I went to holiday to Germany shortly after, and we had friends there, and I wanted to show that film, and I was like, well, fuck, that's not fair. So I contested
Hold
that, and you good? Just my luck, he disappeared. It's okay, I remember where I am with this story. Also, I'm probably surrounded. Just because I can't see them doesn't mean they're not here. Oh man, this cave just keeps going forever. Oh. Ah. I see. I've walked into a nest of grave disaster. Can I actually jump this? Yes, I can. You good?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, my sister called.
Ah, fair enough.
I
So,
was like, hey, are you bike for today? Sure. Yeah,
yeah,
the copyright story.
so basically what happened was, yeah, so they basically striked it over a sound that they claimed was theirs but wasn't. And apparently there's a rule where once I dispute that claim, they have 30 days to respond. And they take 30 days to respond. And in that time that they don't respond, that whatever money is coming from it is still going to them. Right?
And then on the last day, they're
And on the
gonna
last
say,
on the last day they said, "No, it's ours." So then I get to do a final dispute, and the final dispute is if I'm really sure that it's mine. And there's a grave penalty as well. There's a very
but
grave penalty.
How can they prove it?
This is the thing. The criminal justice system on YouTube doesn't work that way. It's not like they have to prove that they're right. I have to prove that they're wrong, which would I don't know if that's changed since, but that was a bunch of bullshit because
that sounds
not how
like something YouTube still does.
yeah, and
Okay,
it's not how it works even. It's not even how it works. It's not how it should work because that's, you know, that means I'm guilty until proven innocent, which isn't how it's meant to work.
Exactly.
And so basically,
like 9 out of 10 times, this is law basically. I'm not a big guy on law, but I know some stuff here and there because I have family who works at law, and I
Oh, it's nighttime, by the way.
and I've studied some books here and there. You can't prove a negative.
Nope.
That's impossible. And I'll tell you exactly the reason why. I can literally say like uh, you can't prove a negative. Like let's say Ron is kicking puppies.
Yep. You have no
Okay,
proof that I
now
did.
and then and then and then when it comes to the judge system of freaking YouTube, I don't have to prove. I don't have to prove YouTube that Ron is kicking puppies. No, no, no. Ron has to prove something that he never did in the first place.
Yep.
How can you do that? That's that's basically fucking up law. That's something you cannot do. That's I find it
It's the
also,
Me Too thing all over again.
yeah, exactly. Like, hey, okay, here's your proof. Congratulations. But the thing is, and that's something I really despise from YouTube because YouTube, the thing was, I really like the you in YouTube, you know,
Yeah,
but it's now company tube because
it is.
they just look at it like, yeah, you know, I get it. You really wanna explore, really wanna explore YouTube more, but the company has more money than you, so
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's like, hey, you're not gonna have the money to do this. Fuck off. It's like, hey, sucks to be you.
It's ridiculous as well. Like, so
It
basically,
is. It is.
so going on further on that as well, because that wasn't the end of it. Like basically, so they had 30 days to respond, and then they just said, "Oh no, it's ours." And so then I could get to make a final dispute, which basically means that I'm definitely sure that everything is mine. The cost of lying about that for me, as the person disputing that something is mine, which it was, if it turns out that I'm wrong, my channel could get closed down. But I didn't anyway because I was like, no, fuck this, I'm right. They again then have 30 days to reply, and they did take 30 days, and on the 30th day they released a claim because they knew they didn't have a case.
Yeah, that's just. It shows how unsystematic YouTube is as a company.
It's
Because
ridiculous.
in law, basically, I can guarantee you. Then again, I'm not a lawyer, but
Of course.
I guarantee you, you need to show briefing that you're actually doing something within the 30 days. You know,
Yeah.
like show around that you're not fucking around, because the judge, if you, for example, sue someone, oh, easy, quick money, stuff like that, the judge
Of
will
course.
also look at what have you been doing. Have you hired lawyers? One. Have you asked for financial advice? Have you done this? Have you done that? And if you have said none to any of those, and you said like, oh, on the last day, yeah, claim whatever, then the person who did all the work the most will go to them.
Yeah.
He's the winner because it shows that he can't prove a negative, and it's like you also need more proof to like, hey, it's ours. Okay, show me why it's yours.
Yeah.
Did they even show it to YouTube? No, they just said flat out wrong. You could literally do the same thing to those people. You can. It's basically a corrupt system in itself.
It is.
You could do it to them. Like, I guarantee you, there is definitely a guy who always goes on YouTube's channels or something like that, official YouTube channels, and just copy strike them to fucking hell.
Well, yeah. Easy money.
Well, no, because eventually YouTube has this privilege. Basically, you just use the privilege. Oh, because it's an official YouTube, because it's an official YouTube page. No one, yeah, you can't strike us, something like that. They're gonna use that argument. I guarantee it.
Oh, of course.
I do need more cobblestone, by the way. If you have some, just put them in the chest and.
I have 2, but there's plenty in the chest. Check the top chest.
Oh really? Okay. Yeah. I will. Oh, creeper.
Yep.
Another one.
Yep. I'm not doing too well.
You might need new armor, bud.
Hmm.
You might need some new armor.
I don't know. My armor is doing pretty well for now.
I have some arrows. I have bow and arrow. If you need some archery.
That's okay. I'll be honest. I'm doing pretty well up close.
But yeah, the thing, then a complete different thing. Copy striking is basically like, hey, you can easily copy strike it, and the only thing that stops certain people from doing it is basically a code of honor-ish.
Pretty
If
much.
people just false flag here and right, okay, you're gonna get shunned by the community, but there's no crime, or like, there's no punishment for it. If I false flag, and it's like, oh yeah, false flag, okay, my bad. I'm not gonna get punished for it. My channel
No.
is gonna get deleted. Nothing will. It's like, hey, the person who actually wrongfully accused someone just goes scot-free.
Yep.
It's just a shame.
It really is. And that's why as well. Like on the so basically, when I released my album, I had an option to pay $15 a year to get my songs into the YouTube algorithm, which basically just means, well, basically that just means that if someone uses my song, I will get a notification of it, which I thought is fine. But then I kept reading and it said also it will automatically like copyright strike the channel using my song. And I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to be part of this system.
It's like, hey, you want to be with us? You're gonna
No.
lose a lot of money, and then... Oh fuck! I fell. Okay, thank God.
Like,
I'm in the water.
Like basically, if there was a system where I could just get notified about someone using my music, then yes, I would love that, because then I
There
can
is.
go over.
There should be. If
Then
you
I could.
can automatically copy strike someone, then why isn't it, there? Also, why the fuck is every single horse in this game stuck in the caverns?
Yeah, great question. I don't actually know. I think they just kind of fallen in. Weird.
Looks like it.
I found some lapis as well. I'll just remember this area. Because I can't really just
Yeah,
mine
okay, so I'm in the cave as well. So
Sweet.
yeah, I fell, and
Oh.
don't worry, I fell in the water. But yeah,
Good. Good.
the thing is, I can't get up.
Oh. If you've fallen into the cavern, there should be an entrance somewhere into the larger cave system.
I'm
God.
trying to
No.
follow the
No.
stream.
No.
What?
I am in the deep end now.
Shit. Hold on. Oh, I see you.
My shield is gone. Oh god. Oh god. Run away.
On
Run away.
my way.
I am going to die.
No, you're not.
I got them to shoot at each other. Fools.
I'm at the lava.
Alright. It's time to dig straight up.
I saw your name tag, so you're kind of close to me.
No, I've uncrouched. I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, I see you. You're
I'm escaping.
You're on the other side. I see you a little bit.
At least I'm trying to escape. I'm not quite sure where this leads. I really hope I don't accidentally dig into lava, because that would be bad. I have half a heart as well. Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Hold on. Here, bread. Eat it.
Thank you. Ah, we have bread now. I didn't realize.
I made some.
Nice, this helped. Ah, the healing process is starting. Right, now. It wasn't here. There was a passage through here. This is where it is. Follow me. Welcome to the caves.
Yeah, I figured.
The exit is right over here. It's just up these stairs.
Okay. Thanks.
No worries. I'm gonna go with, because I am very badly protected right now.
So yeah, the thing back on the YouTube subject, the the thing is that they used to, and they sometimes still fucking do, and that makes it even more disgusting as usual. They used to promote themselves as like every you can post here, you can do this, you can do this. We support the small creator.
Yeah,
No,
but
you
they
don't.
don't.
They don't.
They don't care
Like,
about the small creators. And to be fair, like, if you look at everything that they do, like YouTube Rewind and stuff, it becomes painfully obvious.
exactly. They're like, hey, okay, who are the top 100 things channels right now? Every single YouTube Rewind, except maybe for like PewDiePie, I guess, always had the same fucking people. Always.
Yeah, because
They're always
PewDiePie
the
was only
same
in like
circle jerk
2 of
people.
them.
They're so like the rewinds are just so freaking dumb because
They are.
and then they just look at tags. Okay, which is the most used tag of all time on YouTube? Oh, it's this. Okay, yeah, let's make a video about that then.
Yeah. Mukbang.
Like, it's soulless. It's soulless.
It is.
Like, hey, let's use this. Remember Among Us?
Among Us, sus. Haha. Haha, sus.
Haha, lol, lol. I bet your fucking ass, if they're gonna do a rewind, they will use Among Us.
Oh yeah, so basically they're not doing that anymore because they kept getting received badly.
Yeah, exactly. And
So
they're
there was,
goddamn right about it.
yeah. So there was a rewind last year, but it was entirely fan made.
Yeah, and that one got appreciated. I
Yeah.
remember that one because they at least one of the people who passed away. I'm not really sure. Like I don't know 100% a lot about the guy, but at least I know this. Like there's a guy named Etika
Oh yeah.
who passed away, and even though he was a small streamer or like a small YouTuber streamer, a lot of people loved him, and I bet your fucking ass, I guarantee you, on fucking side, that the thing that YouTube wouldn't have given a fucking shit about that guy
If he hadn't died.
until some people, if he haven't died, exactly. And they, nah, even then, I will go even higher. They wouldn't have given him a fucking shit because he wasn't having a lot of people at the time.
Hmm.
People there were a few people who loved him, or like in the direction of like people who like to watch him.
Yeah.
It's like he would have never gotten any attention on YouTube Rewind until the community did it for them.
But yeah,
And
because
the worst part of all is that YouTube just takes the prize. Like, hey, we did this. We look. You see. We did this. We gave Etika pride. We gave him love. We gave him this. We gave him that. While
yeah.
literally while literally everybody else is doing like, what do you mean? We've done this. We've created this for you, you asshole.
Literally.
Yeah, but then again, like, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about the man again. One, because I don't know a lot about him, and two, I don't like speaking. Like, I don't want to use my argument. I don't want to use the dead as my argument. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
The dead as a pity argument, because history is still a thing. But, yeah.
Well, basically, there's other things that can be said about YouTube Rewind as well. For instance, there was someone who participated at some point that was somewhat popular. Like, she had maybe a couple of million subs around that time, if that. And basically, like on set, she was treated quite poorly because they were like, "Oh yeah, you're a big creator, but you're not like the biggest." And then when the bigger creator came on set, they were like, "Oh, you're great. You're great. Oh, we love creators like you." And it's like, well, okay, no, well, creators like you, like in big money bags, creator, like you like creators that make you money. And then one of the most interesting things that they did last year, they said we're not doing a YouTube Rewind because you've been clear and you know you don't want that kind of thing anymore. So here's just a bunch of statistics, and then they had like fastest growing channels and stuff like that of 2020, and the large majority of largest growing channels were Instagram influencers who happened to jump ship to YouTube because they were like, "Hey, I can
That's the
I can
whole
expand my brand here." Like it's
Instagram influencers. That's a whole. That's a different big pile of shit right there.
yeah, but it seeps into YouTube as well, and it's like, well, okay, so who do you care about? Do you care about the creators who make you money, or do you care about the small creators on YouTube? Because these aren't small creators on YouTube; they didn't originate
No,
from here,
no,
and
it's like they they just grab people from Twitch or something like that. Like the worst dislike video is a rewind video, and
yep,
I know exactly why. It's just shilling of fucking old memes. They grabbed people who are like not even belong on fucking YouTube, like Ninja for example,
yep.
and just like celebrity,
You like Ninja, right? I'm not seeing a lot of
You like
movement right
you
now.
like hello fellow kids, you like Ninja, right?
It's dumb. It doesn't work.
It just makes me sad, man. It just makes me sad.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Here we are.
Because it all started as a place for like, hey, where everybody can just post something and
Yeah.
they won't get chilled for it. Of course, there were some boundaries here and there, but like, hey, of course there were some boundaries, but still, like,
Oh, they always were, but that doesn't negate anything, I don't think.
I mean, like, the boundaries are still getting like thinner and thinner, you know? Like,
Yeah.
hey, you can't say the N word. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, you can't do this or you can't do that. Okay, that's okay, iffy, but that doesn't make sense. Yet the same people who have more money than me
Are
or
saying
have
all
more
these things.
subscribers than me easily get away with it
Yeah.
when, for example, if I do it.
Well, this is another like hypocritical thing about YouTube is they claim that like the best way to like expand your brand is to make child-friendly content, which in part is true, but they're like, so stuff like swearing, just don't do that. But then all the bigger YouTubers swear, and they're like, yeah, this is great. And it's like, well, so what you're saying is you want children to be exposed to swearing. I don't know if I
Or
like
like
this.
in a different like the thing is like there is a reason why there's like an age of like every time you go on a video, it's like, hey, this one is 18 plus, right? Keep that in mind. Like no nudity, but like, hey, swearing a lot, stuff like that. It's you know, that needs to be a thing. Oh man. And then like, hey, I don't want to do it for the monetization. I just want to do it for my fans, stuff like that. I'll get money out of it eventually. Yeah, but that's also still not allowed. YouTube removed.
Yep.
It's like even if you don't care about the fucking kids, even if you block it, even if you block it for kids, like for example, YouTube, there is a system called YouTube Kids. Use it.
Yeah, there is.
Those video are there. Is that video like kid friendly? Okay, it goes straight to YouTube Kids. If it's not, then it just stays on regular YouTube. Like, what's the harm? What's the harm of like swearing and stuff?
Here's the thing. I will say, swearing is a thing that kind of I never know with swearing, because the truth is, like, swearing is like a sign of honesty, but at the same time, someone who can restrain their swearing is respectable, and oftentimes, swearing can be a little bit gratuitous depending on who does it as well. So I've often like thought about like, trying to not do that. But then I think about it again, and it's like, well, I can't really stop myself. And it's not scripted content, so this stuff is just gonna happen. If it were scripted content, then yeah, I would probably take the swearing out because it's a bit gratuitous. But for the most part, like, I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm not gonna swear on this stream, because
It's like, hey, it's not even needed. So yeah.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
almost nighttime, by the way. It's nighttime.
All right, let me come in bed.
Like, sometimes swearing happens, or like stuff like that happens. Like, hey, if you, I'm a huge history buff and stuff like that. And sometimes they have to talk about this or that, about history, and most of the time, of course, it's goddamn bloody.
It happens.
It happens. That's YouTube. We've already shown that it's not for kids, but it's educational. Why the fuck are you giving us a hard time then? You just flat out block everything. And now the whole debate. Oh yeah, there's a new debate going on.
Of course.
I think again.
Well, what is it this time?
Should there be this? Should we remove dislikes?
Oh my god.
I agree.
It's the Amy Schumer thing all over again.
I don't know the one that well, but yeah, it's. Oh yeah, it's with the Netflix thing, right?
Yep, that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, how maybe like it's like that Simpson meme, like, am I wrong? No, it's the children that are wrong.
Yeah.
Never really look into yourself. Like, hey, here's
Because
a
why
mirror.
would you?
Go look at it. And the thing is, and like, I can't really blame Amy Schumer on it. I just blame society on it.
It is society.
Society. If criticism is like, people love to give criticism, but they can't take it.
Well, here's the thing. Like the way things are going, like it's becoming almost questionable how often people tend to like just say, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, and they take criticism as something not nice. It's like, well, maybe if you were to listen to the criticism, some of it is constructive, but given your level of skill in this particular area, it's entirely possible that your entire life you've just decided, you know what, if you're mean, I'm not going to listen to you. Even though there's nothing mean about whatever is being said.
It's just weird, man. It's weird.
And do you know what? No, I don't think we need to remove the dislikes. I'll be honest. I'll as a creator, right? I'm not really a creator right now. I mean, all I do is these streams of video games, and then a stream every Wednesday evening with a friend of mine, where we talk about comic books and shit, and comic book movies. But literally, as a former creator, I guess, if my video is really bad, I maybe didn't agree with this statement that I'm about to make a couple of years ago, but I certainly do now. If my video is bad, I want it to be disliked into oblivion, because then at least I know it's bad. And then I can start asking myself, what's so bad about it? Why do people not like this?
Because the thing is, everybody likes to put it on a pedestal, and don't get me wrong, a lot of things that are disliked, or I guess sometimes I look at certain things and they're like, oh yeah, I can see people work really hard on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you're only in a bubble, it's not good for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why you need dislikes. Like the thing is, then you won't listen to like criticism. Like the thing is, you'll always get dislikes. That's part of the problem now. There will always be like maybe 5% that are always dislikes. Dislikes are bound to happen. Always. And there's nothing you can change about that. You're not gonna please. You can't please everyone. That's impossible.
Nope.
Might as well give up on that one. But just to completely ignore it
Doesn't work.
it doesn't work.
If anything, by doing that, you're just making it worse.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, so you're not gonna listen to us, okay?
Oh, what? Did you get...
Yep, I got kicked out.
Oh, I'm back in.
External host has lost his connection.
What just happened? I don't remember
I'm
being
joining
here.
world. I'm joining world. There you go. I'm back.
I'm discombobulated.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. No, I agree.
Like the thing is with of course, like, oh, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Everybody will be happy. Yeah, you're not gonna be happy.
No, and also people need to stop doing
it's
things.
only a matter of time.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before you eventually find out that not actually people like it. You just look at it, and your numbers are invalid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
also,
yeah, but I have so many views. Why do people not like it?
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not gonna read the comments. You're too much of a coward to read the fucking comments.
It reminds me. Do you know what? It reminds me of a friend of mine. Basically, he was trying to be a stand-up comedian. Obviously, like with COVID happening and everything, that kind of fell to a halt.
Yeah,
He was trying,
it's
and
been on hold. Yeah.
yeah, but he was trying, and I think he's funny. I think he's got a good thing going on. So I want to support him by like going to his gigs. So I went to two distinct ones, right? One of them was like a competition thing where basically like you have to do a set of 5 minutes, and during that whole while there's like 3 people in the audience who have like a red card, and if they hold it up, if they all hold it up, then he's voted off essentially. Which fortunately didn't happen. I think he only got 1 red card, so he did pretty well. But obviously, like the rest of the audience is trying to persuade the people with the red cards of like whether they should like hold it up or not. So the laughter at the jokes was much heavier, and there was also a lot of booing. And I was like, oh, people are booing. Oh, but still, I enjoyed the set, so I went with it. The second gig I went to, he did an actual like there was this restaurant with like an open mic night, and he actually went there and he performed, and there was no competition by of any sort of kind. So he performed, and a couple of others performed, and I noticed that there's something far worse than being booed off stage, and that is people not reacting at all. You know, those guys weren't laughing, those guys weren't booing. They just sat there silently, and he was riffing these jokes, which I thought were pretty good, and everyone was just quiet and just kind of nodded or just kind of looked in confusion. I was like, dude, this is all. I wish people were booing right now because it would relieve the tension so much more. I think with YouTube, having that system of only having likes and not having dislikes, that sort of thing would happen where people, I think it's better for people to get all of these dislikes than just not getting anything at all. Because that way, you know, they get all these views, they get no likes. That's no interaction at all. It's
True.
scary, dude. It's like you. I bet you just kind of look at your screen then and just go like, well, did they like it? Did they not like it? Did they disproportionately go either way?
It's yeah, you have a point there. Basically, it's just people silently watching, and silence is it might be something utterly horrible.
Yep.
It might be even worse than being booed off. Yeah, I agree. Holy shit. Yeah, that's definitely something that like that will haunt you.
Yeah.
That will haunt you for the rest of your fucking life.
You know, as a teller of bad jokes as well, I know it is better to get any sort of reaction than no reaction at all. You know, when I tell people a bad joke, I'd rather have them tell me that it hurts to hear, rather than them just plain ignoring me. Because let's be honest, if it hurts to hear,
Yeah,
it's
that leads
so
to
much
something
funnier.
that I always have. Like, if I I think that leads back into the system of us being like pack animals,
Mm.
like the inner pack animal shit.
Yep.
I think like if you wanna if you hate someone or if you dislike someone, don't try to cancel him. Don't, because then you're just gonna not only hurt, not only give you do you give him more attention, but it also escalates to something you cannot control, or it might even backfire in your face. No, you know what you should do? Ignore. Because
Exactly.
if you wanna hit someone that you do not like, ignore the fucker. Don't make hate groups. Don't make this. Don't make that. Make him irrelevant. Grab him by his income. That's the worst. That's the
That's
worst
always kind of
punishment
thing, yeah.
anyone could ever give. That's the thing. Like, hey, this happened, that happened. Oh no, okay, move on. It if you just show to the world it's not even worth your time to talk about him, you've won.
Exactly.
Because then the world is like, yeah, but this happened, this happened, this happened. Then again, my movement of talking, a lot of people will lose their jobs. A lot. I guarantee it's one of the most powerful weapons, and nobody actually uses it.
It's true. Because everyone, um, I think everyone just kind of underappreciates how much it can do.
Um, it's one, if not one or the most powerful things you can do. Just ignore 'em. I have a friend, and I'm not gonna say his name, but I have a friend who got absolutely wronged by a person, and this and that, like basic Discord drama shit.
Mm.
And what came out of it was simply like, yeah, I wanted to ruin him this, I wanted to ruin him that. It's like, at this point, don't do anything. Just ignore him because your life is better off. Not your life is better off just moving on.
Yeah,
It's your life.
it's not worth
Just
it.
move on. Move on. It's make him irrelevant. The more you talk about him, the more you talk about the dude, the more attention you give to him. He's
Yeah, the more
living
power he
rent-free.
has over you.
Yeah, and he's living rent free in your head. You
Exactly.
don't want that. You don't want that. You want to be better, right? Yes. Okay. Get him out of your head. It's like sometimes, man.
Hmm.
Sometimes I look at it and it's like, hey, don't talk about him. Just move on with your life, because moving on with your life is one of the best things you can do.
Yep. The best revenge is living well.
Exactly. And don't give attention. Like, hey,
Yeah.
people thrive, live, sometimes have an income on attention. Don't give them that attention,
Exactly.
and you'll win the game.
Having
It's a
said that,
slow
though,
game, yes, but
is that a counter argument to why dislikes should stay on YouTube?
uh, no, because you need to show. Good question, but I don't think so, because the thing what makes dislike so important is to show that you're wrong. Because dislike doesn't always mean I hate you.
Yeah. Well, that you're
It's
wrong.
some. It's
Yeah.
it's not always. Not always. Let me be very clear. Sometimes it is, but not a lot.
It's just that
Because
being
you can
wrong
also,
is it can be very subjective as well.
true.
I mean, unless you have Vice President Kamala Harris talking about Hanukkah, that kind of wrong is very wrong. Did you see that video? It's awful.
No, I haven't. I always knew it was bound to happen.
So basically, there's not a lot of people in America, on YouTube anyway, who talk about Hanukkah because let's be honest, it's not one of the most celebrated holidays, even though it is. But people are like, oh, well, just celebrate Christmas, it's fine. So she has a Jewish husband, and she got him on a video, and they had made a video together about the meaning of Hanukkah, right? And so what they said, like they sat there
Boy,
like a couple of idiots, and they said, well, Hanukkah is about joy. And I'm like, is it? I don't think it is. They were like, it's about
pretty in Hanukkah, so
it's about being together. It's like, no,
yeah.
stuff like that. They were basically applying the meaning of Christmas that people have these days to Hanukkah, which is not basically, for those who don't know
I
what
think it's
Hanukkah
in
is
some way
about.
offensive.
The story of Hanukkah has to do with basically like several, I mean, maybe like 1 or 2 millennia before the coming of Christ. Um, the what we know now as the like Israel and the Palestinian region was basically oppressed by the Greek, and they were the Greek Empire was basically trying to force Greek beliefs and such upon the people who lived there. And so there were a couple of
Yeah.
people called the Maccabees who basically revolted against that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so a long time after the success of that, they went into, um, I think it was a great temple. I'm not entirely sure which temple it was, but I think it was a great temple. And that's where the whole thing happened of like, oh, they had a menorah, they didn't have enough oil for a day. Turns out it lasted for 8 days, that whole thing. But the main meaning of Hanukkah is survival, and the basically winning a bloody war is what it is.
Hmm.
It's about the fact that we live to like we celebrate that we celebrate that we live is what I would say.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily something with joy. It's just knowing there's a lot of enemies against our culture, and we will thrive no matter what. It's about hope, certainly, but it's not about that. And so basically, to see a woman who clearly did not grow up with this culture sit there with a man who I'm assuming did not grow up with this culture, um, talk about a holiday in the wrongest way possible. It's the same as, if someone were to talk about Easter and say, oh, it's about the beautiful life of Jesus Christ. And it's like, no,
No,
it's kind of about his death, though, isn't it?
yeah, kind of about. Kind of.
So it's not about the beautiful life. It's about,
Yeah, but what about the Easter Bunny? Yeah,
you want to talk about the Easter Bunny? Let's talk about the Easter Bunny.
yeah, exactly.
Not Christian.
Okay.
Not even slightly Christian.
Not Christian whatsoever. It's fun. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but
The reason why I bring up that video anyway is because it's heavily disliked, and for good reason.
yeah. But the thing is, with dislikes, I hope that's something that I always hope for, that people learn that it's wrong, or like, hey, maybe it isn't as black and white as you see. Because the thing is, and that's also something in politics. Uh, not every right winger, not every right winger is this. Not every lefty is this. Stuff
Yeah.
like that. Well,
It's a spectrum.
yeah, it's like, bro, seriously, there's a difference between the people, right? Keep that in mind. And
Yeah.
no, there was hate this, they hate the gays, this. I had this conversation a couple of days ago.
You did.
I'm not sure if I told you the last stream, but I'm a Christian. I'm Catholic,
Hmm.
and I like going to church. I don't mind doing that. It keeps, sometimes it eases like the stress in my head. I like going there, and plus I'm a tour guide, or like before Corona I was a tour guide. So sometimes I have to talk about the church because of like the architecture, stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And eventually somebody found out my sexuality. I'm an asexual.
Hmm.
And literally somebody showed up out of fucking nowhere and said, but wait, isn't it wrong? What do you mean? Isn't it wrong to like being asexual? Shouldn't you be like, straight? What do you mean? Yeah, but like, doesn't Jesus Christ only love like, don't the Christians hate asexuals and gays and stuff like that?
I don't think asexual was a thing back then to hate.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no. I don't have any. They don't have a problem with me. They know my sexuality. They probably don't even care. I wouldn't say that, but okay, okay. That I did say that, but I think they do care. To like, sometimes I'm used as a. I really despise it. Sometimes I really hate it.
Hmm.
But sometimes I'm being used as like a as an example. I hate that,
Oh,
but if
becoming night again.
if people like it, like, hey, if it helps people, then I will do it. But really, I'm not the guy to do it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not the best example to use. Or like, hey, yeah, like, and then people use like anti-Christian people, like, oh yeah, they hate the gays and stuff like that. No, we don't. There's just a couple people who hate gays. The same goes with non-believers who hate gays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's in the Bible. Okay, tell me where exactly in the Bible that is, my friend.
Apparently in the Old Testament.
I doubt it.
Yeah. In I believe it was Exodus.
That there
But it's
shouldn't be
it's
gay
it's
people.
written. No, basically it said something like a man shall not lay with another man, something like that.
And We live in a modernized world.
Yeah. Also,
We're modern Christians.
one of the things that people should remember about religion is, I mean, yeah, some of the events kind of may have happened or may not have happened or may happen slightly differently and stuff. But some of the rules that were made up at the time, especially in Exodus, right? Exodus was just when the Jewish slaves came out of Egypt, right? There were not many of us. We had to repopulate. And so a lot of the rules that were made up is to ensure that we have a society to actually, like, continue from and actually thrive from. So a lot of the rules that were made up were purely meant for reproduction. They weren't meant as like life rules of like, oh, do this or God will hate you. It's like, no, this is what we should do now. So gay people during Exodus would mean that no kids would be born. But it's like, no, we need kids right now. We need to raise a society. Plus, you'll find like a lot of relationships in the both testaments basically love this.
Yeah, like, okay, congratulations, shit. Straight. Well, just because I'm straight doesn't automatically mean I'm gonna have kids, you know? There's
Also
something
true.
called biology, and sometimes it really screws you over.
However, I will say,
Okay.
having kids is written in the, I believe, Old Testament as well.
Yes, that's true.
That is a requirement.
That's true.
But again,
that's something different because adoption
it's the same reason. So I will say, adoption is not. Well, I mean, there's something about adoption in the Old Testament. The whole story of Moses. So
Yeah.
to say that adoption is not natural is, it's a bit
It's
unfair.
kind of hypocritical.
I will say though, whatever any written text says, adoption is one of the most noble things that anyone could potentially do.
True. And also one of the hardest things to do.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion. Because, like, hey, you're not starting off with something that you created yourself, you know? You're basically, I don't want to say fixed because the child probably is just healthy and stuff, but like you're fixing someone else's problem, and not because the kid is a problem, but because the parent is either not able to like raise the child, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, they
I
have.
don't wanna get
There's some reason
defensive
why
about
they can't do it.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason may be, it might be completely fair.
egotistical. There are some people.
Like
There are some
maybe
people.
the kid is from a teenage pregnancy and the mother
Yeah.
is just not able to take care of the child right now.
Yeah, that's something I can get behind. Like, hey, that's
Yeah,
something
child pregnancy. Yeah.
It's like, hey, okay, the kid isn't even able to like fucking drive. Yeah,
Like putting your kid up for adoption is sometimes the best thing you could possibly do for the child.
true.
It's a hard
And
thing
it's
to do.
really heartbreaking.
Sometimes we got to do things that we don't particularly enjoy for the betterment of someone else. It is what it is, and what it is the unfortunate truth.
Oh well, it's something that I can sometimes get behind, I guess. It's always a hard pill to swallow, you know.
It is. Especially because people don't tend to want to be like feeling incompetent and stuff like that, when that's not really what this is about.
True. It's something like. Then again, I shouldn't be talking because yeah, I don't have any kids. But,
Sure, nor do I.
It's
Probably
always,
for the best, if I'm honest.
Yeah, same, 100%. I'm same on this one.
Because this is the same thing as like like it's the same as like having a pet. I don't. Do you have pets currently?
Yes, I have a pet duck.
A pet duck. That's unusual.
Yeah.
It's cool. Don't get
Uh,
me wrong, but it's
yeah. His name is Blondie.
nice.
He's a beautiful little bastard. He looks like a bowling pin from time to time, but I love him. Just
Well,
he
that's good.
waddles to me, and yeah, it's always nice.
Well, the point that I wanted to make is basically, I feel like having children in the modern age, especially if you live alone, is comparable to having pets. I currently do not have a pet, and the reason for it is very distinct. Is
Uh,
because I
yeah, I'm gonna disagree on this one because a pet is something that like when it comes to a pet most of the time lives between the ages of 10 and 15 years. A kid who becomes an adult and stuff like that, that's something for a lifetime.
true.
Oh, it's the age is completely different. It's sad, like you can love your pet and love your kid. I'm not saying that, but it's I do think it's completely different because with a kid you need to do more, a lot more. Not
Um,
only just walk with them and feeding them. No, you also have to educate them, learn how to take responsibility, learn how to do this, learn how to do that.
well, you teach pet
And
stuff as well.
you can't just sorry.
You teach pet stuff as well.
Yeah, but like with a pet, you learn for like 3 years, and and with with a child who becomes an adult, years of learning, years of learning. There,
Mm,
there's a reason why the road to adulthood is the first step to adulthood is learning,
of course.
and I see that more with children than that I see that with pets. Because with
Mm,
like because okay, you have to go to the first school like kindergarten, then high school and shit, and then from high school you need to go like okay, which direction do I really want to go, like which thing do I want to study, stuff like that. You need to develop it yourself as well, and you need to learn that from home or from school and stuff. I do think there's a huge difference between them because it's yeah, how do you say it? Um,
do you know
it's
what?
like
I'm gonna disagree on that because pets stay at home with you for pretty much most of the day. Well, considering, if
of their
someone is
life.
at home for life, yeah. Well, obviously their lives is a little bit shorter.
Yeah,
Children,
exactly.
when they go to school, they have to be educated by people who are paid to educate them. Whether they do a good job or not is a completely different question. But still, at that point, they're not necessarily a problem. Now they start socializing with other people of their age, peers, other children. So, at that point, they become dependent on their friends as well. So now,
Also, but that's also a learning process.
sure, but you don't necessarily teach them that, and not everything that you try to teach them sticks. And when they leave the house, I'll be honest, it's been a while um since I've been able to properly call my parents educators in that regard. Because well, maybe that's a personal thing. I try to learn as much as possible from actual real life. Like, if they offer to help me with anything, I just refuse.
Okay, just because you find them not intelligent enough or something,
No,
or
because I feel like the only way I'm gonna learn things is if I learn them on my own. Like, it's great if they
okay,
tell me how to do things, and I will ask sometimes, and they'll tell me like an ordinary person would. But it's not anything about their intelligence or lack thereof, or anything that could imply. Um, really digging a hole here, but it's more about me having to be able to do things on my own, which I've felt like since I moved out when I was 19.
Okay.
I think it depends person per person.
Yeah, it definitely is. Because the thing is, I always love to have advice from my dad. Always. Even though I'm not gonna like it, it's always nice to have like, like a second opinion, or even like, the thing is with me, when I need to think of something, first I need to write it down what it all is. Then I'm gonna look for advice. Okay, most of the time it's family when it comes to this and that.
Yeah. Well, I
And
can
I
agree to
know my
that.
dad is, and my dad is, for example, really good with that. No, okay, then that works. Then I'm gonna ask my friends around. Like sometimes they also have a different word to say here and there, which is pretty good. Also shows me the road here and there. Um, I don't know. I find it to be like, hey, sometimes it's really nice to ask my parents, and sometimes I might even do it because I know for a fact, like, hey, let's say my dad studied law. I'm not
Yeah.
going to do something with law. But if I'm going to be in contact with law, or if I'm going to get sued or something like that, your fucking ass that I'm going to listen to my dad. I'm going to do everything within my power to help, but eventually he's going to do most of the hard work because he knows how to do it
Sure, but I think
and
that's a
he
different
wants me
thing.
to succeed.
I think that's a different thing because now you're asking him for help as, as coming from him from his profession, not from his point of life experience.
Yeah.
When I was doing my album, I would regularly send my songs to my parents as well, asking for feedback, but I wasn't doing that, to get feedback from parents who say, oh, it sounds great. Oh, you're so talented. No. I asked them because I know them to be musicians
Really?
themselves. And so I asked them
Ah,
from the point of view of musicians, not of parents. And boy, did they give me feedback. They really did not hold back. Especially my dad did not hold back in any sort of way. But that's a different thing. Is I asked them from the capacity of professionals, not from the capacity of their life experience. Which I guess it's a little bit of life experience because obviously that's their profession. So in that regard, yeah, okay, maybe there's something to it. Um,
funny.
but in terms of
So,
life experience, like, especially because they know how to do things in, let's say, Israel. They know how to do things in the Netherlands because, they've done all those things before. But that's not where I currently am. I'm in the UK, where a lot of governmental stuff, like the Universal Credit or Job Seekers Allowance I told you about, that screwed me over this morning. Um, they don't know anything about that because they never had to deal with that. That's
yeah.
something that I'm gonna have to figure out for myself or ask someone that I know here that knows about it. If they knew, sure, I'd ask them. But at the same time, when they tell me like, "Oh, do you need help? Do you need financial support or anything?" I just flat out say no, because I don't wanna rely on anyone to, you know,
Hmm.
especially because then I'm never gonna learn, you know, like it's not that I don't know the value of money, but I I wanna every time I'm in a tough position, I want to experience it to the fullest just to know why I don't want to be in that position. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I know where you're getting at. But the thing is, um, I do think, and maybe it's different because you live in the UK and you're gonna
Sure.
ask some people in the UK. But if I literally don't know anyone, if I don't know anything about this, and I don't know anything, and I don't know anyone who knows about this, then I'm gonna ask my parents or
Of
my friends
course.
or stuff like that
Makes sense.
because that's something different.
To bring it back to pets though, pets don't have the capability to do this. Like pets, maybe a cat. Like a cat can be self-sufficient in some ways. Unfortunately, I just don't really like cats. Um, but they can be s- somewhat self-sufficient. Like you can literally like throw them on the street, just go like, okay, well, have a nice afternoon, and then
Yeah.
in the or even the other way around, like in the afternoon they come back, and like in the evening you go, all right, we'll have fun, and then they go out for the night to do shit, come back in the morning and you're like, oh hey, there you go. It just, for me, like if I'm gonna have a pet, it's gonna be one that, that I enjoy like hanging out with. So it would be like a small dog or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Full of energy, but like fun to have. And it hurts to think of having to leave them alone for the majority of the day.
True.
I don't know how it works with ducks. I don't know how
With ducks,
self-sufficient they are.
yeah, they pretty are. They pretty much are. Sometimes they'll walk up to you, but the thing is, they're pretty territorial in a way, or at least
Right.
because my duck is a boy, he just
I
wobbles
see.
around looking. Most of the
With
time, his work is basically eating worms and stuff like that, and if he sees like a different type of bird that isn't as big as him or like bigger, he goes after it and just try to fucking fight it. Like, fuck off, this is my turf.
I see. Dude,
And we can just let him waddle around. And the thing is, my parents are trying to make like some sort of like vegetable garden.
okay.
And the thing is with ducks, and ducks are really good at it. They can waddle around in the garden, and people expect like, oh, they're gonna eat the leaves and stuff like that. No, what they will eat is like the leaf lices, like the insects that that eat like the plants, stuff like that.
That's pretty good actually.
So like it's like it's a natural way of um,
Yeah.
defending your own garden, and not only that, but also the most fertile the most fertile thing that we can get naturally and pretty easy is poop. And duck poop
Right.
is really fertile to growing plants and stuff like that.
It's actually pretty good.
So my duck basically goes around the garden like, ah, la, da, da. Oh, there's a bug on it. Okay, let me eat that bug. Nom. Oh, delicious, delicious. Oh, I got a poop. Whoops. Okay, there you go. Now the poop is on the plants. It's so much fertility in the poop for the plants. The plants will eat that shit up, literally
Yeah.
grow even better, stronger, faster.
That's actually really good. So basically they eat you don't really have to feed them. You don't really
Well,
have
you
to
do.
clean up after them.
You do.
I
Yes,
mean, okay.
you also. It really depends. Like, we
Yeah.
have a pond. We have a pond, and we just let them wander around there. But you know, for a fact, like we notice that every time we have to cut the grass is bigger and longer at the pond than everywhere else
Hmm.
where the duck has access to. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
And the reason we always feed him in the morning, like feed him some like bird food, because bread is really bad for them. It's like candy for them. Sure, they can eat it, but like they don't get any nutrients from them.
Oh, I see.
So actually, bread is really bad for them. So that's something you can now know, I guess.
I didn't realize that. Because,
It's
obviously
okay.
I thought, because people tend to feed them like stale bread.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But like bread is basically candy. Sure, they can eat it and they love it, but um, it's actually really bad for them
Oh,
because there's no nutrients in them that they need to survive. That's why a city duck, like a duck in the city, they don't live longer than a year and a half max.
I see.
A regular duck in the woods lives around 6 to 7 years, and my duck right now is 12 years old.
Well,
And they can come up to 15 years because
yeah.
they get the nutritions, you know.
Yeah. Interesting. So they must start breeding at like a very early age then.
Oh, definitely, 100%. First year is breeding, like hands down.
That explains the city ducks.
And the thing is, ducks sometimes can be very smart animals. They know that if you have like small little ones, then they will come up to you with small little ones because they're like, hey, we have little kids, please feed us. That's what they do. Like they scheme a bit. But anyway, mine is he's adorable, first of all, obviously. And
Of course, yeah.
yeah. The thing is with him, it's like
Shoot.
he has his own place, his own home. He used to have brothers and sisters, but they all died of old age. And but yeah, the thing is with ducks, they're pack animals.
I
So
see.
they always go to you. Like for example, if I go to my duck right now, he will just give me like he will push his head on my leg and sometimes bite my pants because like, hey, where's my food, dumbass? And yeah, it's always nice in a way. But anyway, um, I realized that I have to go
You
in
do.
5 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap this up a little bit.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like Ron and I, this is outside of YouTube. Ron and I were talking like, hey, try to keep it less than 3 hours, okay? Last time we played it for like 2.5 hours, so yeah, we didn't do
Yeah, we didn't do so well.
yeah, that didn't do so well. We didn't hold up to our promise, and now that I have someone who's actually visiting me in 15 minutes, I have to go. Oh shit! There's a skeleton in our house.
How'd you get there?
I have no idea. Time to
Right.
kill it.
Let me come
There you
over.
go.
I just need to.
No, I got it. I killed
Okay.
it.
Well, I need to come over anyway because it's bad. Anyway, then let's say our goodbyes then. Um, just looking at my. Oh, I've built it wrong. Of course I have. Okay. Well, anyways,
I couldn't finish the building. I'll do it next time,
that's
and
fine.
then I'll let Ron decide which one of the two is gonna be his main room. You know, right now we're sharing a room, and
Yes.
next week or maybe the week after, we're gonna decide who's taking which room.
Very good. Okay. God damn it! Just let me see. Okay. Um.
Leave comments which room you want.
Let me just
Yeah,
disconnect. All right, then.
sure.
Thank you very much for joining again. I see that people have been peeking into the stream, but no one's been staying. That's all right. I think we've
Okay.
noticed as well that like Sundays are generally better. It just happened that Lucky was unable to do tomorrow, which is fair because it turns out I'm not able to as well. But next week we will be on again, either Saturday or Sunday. You will find out on the day. No, we'll. Do you know what
They will
I
probably
could
be
just
the best
schedule the
thing.
stream like a week ahead. So in that sense, there's nothing really wrong with that. So yeah, basically stay subscribed. That's the best way to kind of keep on track. And yeah, thank you very much for watching and see you next week.
See you next time, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.